joining me on It's a Wrap. I'm hoping, again, that the sound is working. So Miss Sky is here and Miss Nisha's here to help me out today. So let's see, things that happened this week. We had Jack was neutered this week, and one of our volunteers, who was also a nurse for many years, Bernice, took Jack home for the first 2 nights to get him through the post-op area, so that was good. Just for those who are wondering, I did relocate my office. It's no longer up in the house. It is back down in the laundry where I can be closer to the barn, closer to the kennels, and able to quickly get to different areas of the farm when needed. There also seems to be a problem with the computers over in the house, and that would be the mail call computer and the sunroom computer. I do have a technician coming in on Wednesday morning to look at those, so you're just going to have to kind of deal with the way that they're operating right now. As you can see, beautiful Sky. Yeah, good girl. Beautiful Sky and lovely Nisha over there are staying with us. They're actually going to be going home shortly. Trip left today. He left with his mom this morning, so he was very happy to see her. And I figured out why he was always crying like a banshee boy as soon as he saw me, and that was because his mom drives a white SUV also. So I think that he thought that I was her when I drove to and from work. The chicken coop repair has been happening. Maintenance Mark has been working on that. We will be having a few chickens here shortly. We did find them. It's just a matter of getting to a place in New Hampshire to pick them up. And then we're only going to have a few here for our Shatting Sundays. So those will be coming soon. I did reach out to our cardiologist and our ophthalmologist and another vet to do the thyroid, the echocardiograms, and the eye examination on 2 of our upcoming breed dogs, Duke and Emma. So those will be hopefully getting scheduled soon. I'm waiting to hear. I know our ophthalmologist was away on vacation, so hopefully tomorrow or Tuesday I'll be hearing something from the person who schedules there. Pete update. Pete is doing very well. He does. Hey, Sky. What's the matter? He is going back to Woburn for another CBC and to see where his levels are at. Also, he is finished up with his antibiotic that they had him on for his urinary infection. So hopefully those are done. Let's see. We will be spaying Cali this week. She is going in on the 20th. We did have Davis scheduled for Monday, however they had to switch it, so he is being bumped back until later on this month, which is fine. For those of you who saw the police officer here or animal control here, I did ask animal control to come in. We looked at the kennels. We need to start the renovations soon. I have not heard anything from Home Depot, so we're going ahead and going to be doing it ourselves. However, I wanted to make sure that I had everything kosher with animal control and with the state, because they have all new guidelines on kennels now. They have to be done a certain way, non-porous, etc. So I ran past her my ideas. We looked at a few different things. She took pictures, she took notes. She's going to the state. She's asking, will this be sufficient? If I get the yay, we go ahead and we start ripping apart the kennels and getting our things that we need to get, the supplies. If they say no, it can't be done that way, then we're back thinking of another way of renovating these kennels, but it does have to be done soon. We are going to be using our own funds that we had a fundraiser for. Those are sitting in a separate bank account, just sitting there waiting, and as soon as we can, we'll start those renovations. So animal control being here with the police officer, it was a good thing. It was not a bad thing. So don't jump to conclusions thinking that, oh, they're harassing us again. It was an invite that we did. Upcoming placements. So we did have little Evie. did leave over the weekend with her veteran. He is coming back on Wednesday to come and volunteer, and we will make our official announcement then. So right now, that is where little Evie is. So I think that is it. So hopefully you guys have some questions that we can answer. Okay, all right. Becky says I can hear you. I'm just watching, not operating in the cams. Thank you, Becky. This is working. Just so you know, though, it's not something as simple as coming over and hitting a button. I actually have another device that I have to turn the sound on and mute the sound. So not every It's a Wrap or Meet the Dog or things like that will be in here. So if they are in here, I will definitely put it out on Explore. So that's good. Crafty wants to know, how is Jagger? Jagger is doing well. I haven't heard anything else from John. He is scheduled to go into for more radiographs in November, and at that time they will see if they have a mass there, density to the bone, or if nothing has grown, then we will go through with the TPLO surgery. So how is Pete? We have already answered that one. How many litters are planned for 2023? If everything goes well with the OFA testing of these other dogs, we are going to have at least, I would say probably at least two litters that I'm thinking of. Allie, did Evie go out as the perfect pet? She went out, we call it as a perfect pet, but she is also going out for PTSD. And Crafty asked, did Evie go to her forever home? And yes, they do know about her unusual gender, and that's absolutely fine. Crafty says, thank you for the info on the police visit. Absolutely. She did think it looked to be a routine consultation, and it was definitely. You know, the animal control has been working with us. She has been very, very, very good with us as far as, you know, I can say, hey, what do you think about this material, that material? And, you know, she's been around the Ipswich, what do you call it, SPCA. They have a whole new building that was built. She knows the materials that they use. So she gives me a lot of ideas also. But of course, again, it's the state who comes and inspects, so we want to make sure that we are compliant. Tuesday is the 10th anniversary for the first live birth on Explore cameras with Chaos Chuppies. Thank you, Crafty. That's exciting. And Lila May says, thank you for your great organization skills. I'm trying, that's for sure. Crafty asks, are you still contacting the owners of the older dogs for updates? I am, Crafty. Actually, it's funny that you asked, because I have been sending out, what I'm doing is digitalizing all of our dogs on a specific online program. So it does take a while. There's a lot that this program can do, and I'm really excited about using it. And I am one at a time going through the perfect pets, reaching out and asking for any updated documentation that we need, such as updated rabies. I am getting some negative feedback on that they don't feel that we need this information, but it is critical that we get the information on every single one of these dogs, so we can look back on the litters and say, okay, this dog here has had cancer. Any other of his littermates, does any other littermate have cancer? Or another littermate all of a sudden comes down with something, we'll be able to look at that whole litter and say, okay, this one had it, this is who treated it, this is how it was treated, so that we have a background on every single one of these dogs. And I don't understand why people, no, you don't need any information. Yes, we do. It's very important. It's very important to our breeding program. It's very important that we get all the dogs checked out, get them vetted, get tests done, the OFA screenings. I get a CBC on every single dog before it leaves this property, either a pet or as a service dog. We have insurance on every single one of these service dogs before they leave this property so that they can carry over the premium. If they are a veteran who is getting one of our dogs as a Service Dog Project retains the premium cost for that dog, so they don't have to pay anything. And if it's an annual visit that dog has done and the insurance doesn't cover it, Service Dog Project does. We want to make sure that every single one of these dogs has been seen by a vet, is healthy, and we have a CVC to compare every year, apples to apples. We make sure that the levels are fine, and we have a retired veterinarian who I consult with all the time. Right now it's once a month. For a while there, it was every day. I think for a while I even spoke to this retired vet more than I spoke to my husband. But it's a learning curve for me. It's something that we look at and we compare this and this. He asks questions, I answer, I get answers. So it's a huge learning curve, but it's very necessary. So if you hear of anybody who has any of our dogs and they're kind of hemming and hawing about giving us the information, we need it. It's not just because we want it, it's because we need it. We need to be able to coach other people who have siblings of that litter. We need to know this happened and this happened with this breeding. We're not doing it again, and possibly even having to wash an entire litter at times. That could happen. So that's my soapbox on that one. Let me see. How is Misha? As you can see, Misha here is absolutely wonderful. She has been a super, super good girl, and her care to her surgery spot there is doing great. I looked at it this morning. It's a little bit pink. It's healing from the inside out. They're doing the hot compresses. They're putting on the medication, etc. Everybody here has worked as a great team taking care of the little girl while she's here. So that's awesome. Oh, somebody can't get sound, so that's a bummer. How is Casper, one of the chubbies? Casper is doing very well. Normally Casper comes here on the weekends. Jen and Chuck, who are his owners now, are very, very good at caring for him. They usually bring him. He hangs out somewhere on the property, and he's just doing fantastic. Crafty wants to know, if you donate the dog to them, you are entitled to health updates for your breeding line. Thank you, Crafty. Crafty also says that there are several known health issues in multiple SDP dogs, so you need to know health trends. Thank you, Crafty. Okay, so that is all that I see. I am going to just do a quick refresh. We had a lot of people here today. It was awesome. So if you saw all kinds of groups, we had a Girl Scout group here today. We had some volunteers just pop in. I ran out. I actually did a little bit of training today. I took out little Tasha with me today as one of my dogs, and she was a nervous wreck when it comes to traffic. And there were motorcycles, there were big, loud trucks, and she walked alongside of me, and she did very well, but there were some times that she wanted to cut me off and head into the bushes and just hide, which I wouldn't allow. We ended up walking downtown, and we stopped. We let people walk by with dogs, let people just walk by and say hi to her, and she did calm down. Our walk back to the car went perfect. Her pace is absolutely perfect, but I don't know if it's because she is so nervous. Another dog that went out today, I actually asked Carlene to take a dog out today, and she took out Sandy, Sandy at times has issues with other dogs. She's usually really, really good. I'm not convinced that she can't make it as a service dog, so I kind of gave her to Carlene and said, here, you take her, you let me know what you think. So Carlene went to Costco. She has a special spot that she sits, and she just sat there with the dog, and Sandy did great. Until a very nervous girl came up to her, very nervous, and she picked right up on it. Sandy picked up on that nervousness, became very nervous and shaky herself, and then the little girl left, and Sandy still remained still very shaky, very nervous. So Carlene, said, okay, let's go, and off they went. They got in the car, and they came back here. So, what it boils down to on that is Carlene has, recommended that we do a lot of coffee drinking. Bring her to Starbucks, bring her to Dunkin' Donuts, bring her anywhere where there are cars that go by, people that go by, and just let her relax and realize no one's going to hurt her. She's going to be fine. So Carlene has been doing that with a couple of dogs that I have requested, a couple of our little problem children. And then after that, it's just a matter of keep on doing this. You know, we've got some people who, Amy and Jackie, for instance, they come and they bring dogs out. You know, they'll sit in a corner, next to a main road, and they just sit there and they have a coffee and they just sit and talk to each other, and the dog just relaxes and, realizes, okay, this isn't a bad thing. So it is, it's been working pretty well, but that is pretty much everything that happened as far as training today. Brought a few dogs out. So, all right, Crafty says, happy 10th birthday to Casper on Wednesday, and Oscar's birthday is on Tuesday, so lots of birthdays. So other than training, I need everybody to get a hold of me and tell me what would you like to see other than trainer talk, because that has been very difficult. We have very minimal staff, so it is hard for them to break what they're doing, come, do a trainer talk, and then get back into the swing of things. A lot of times they're just, so focused on just, okay, you've got to get this and this and this and this done. So other than training talk, I was thinking maybe instead of meet the dog, which we can still keep on doing so you get to know the dogs, but we can also do meet the staff, meet the volunteers, meet somebody. So let me know your thoughts on that, and let's see if we can put something together, and that way you get to meet everybody. All right, I'm going to call it quits, everybody. Thank you for joining me, and it's a wrap.
You said Callie's getting spayed tomorrow?